All right. I think I have this up and going now. Can you hear me? Hey, Rochelle. Hey, Clover. Hey, Magical. How dare you? That hurts my feelings. That really makes me feel. Oh, Kristen, I feel absolutely horrible, to be honest with you. There can't be a glitch already. Leave and come back. God damn it. Leave and. I don't know if that's going to do anything, but fingers crossed. Well, if there's no glitch, then that means that, like, it's got to be individual issues, right? Brussels, you tell me, because I did just do something. So tell me if it persists, because I can flip it back again, okay? Oh, it's better now. Who knew? No, I did update the app. I'll bring Brussels up, and I'll check the app while I bring Brussels up. Hold on. Is how most people view it when you're up here. Uninterrupted, non-glitchy. And when you're... Sarah, how important? As in time sensitive, I should pause the live, or time sensitive, reply to it as soon as I'm finished with the live? Oh my God, that's such a slow response, Sarah. We're all waiting with bated breath.
Knowing Sarah, she may have
Okay.
fallen asleep
Yeah,
already.
just reply when you can, but it's not good. So I thought I'd be a little playful, a little bit. I don't think that's unfair. I feel like after 2.5 years of everyone trying to like cut my head off and take me down, it's feeling a little kind of good to not be the target of people all of a sudden. And it's I'll tell you this much. It has been incredibly delightful and validating to see just how poorly other creators take cancellations. Because I am constantly criticized, not just as a way of canceling me, I'm constantly criticized for how I respond to cancellations. And it has been delicious seeing how very poorly other creators respond to valid criticisms to shit that they do. And I got to admit, I'm feeling pretty good these days. I'm feeling like, I don't know, like I might not be the problem. Wait, I got name dropped? How did I get name dropped? Did I get name dropped? I was about to say something stupid. Did I get name dropped in a positive way?
No, both ways.
Of course. Wait, you heard me got name dropped? Where did I get name dropped? What did I get name dropped for?
And a live of someone that I think was playing a live about you, or a
Oh, you got to give me more details.
Okay, it was okay.
I don't want to say their name
Oh
on
my
this platform.
God.
I don't want to say their name on here. I don't want to say. I do not say their name on here.
I heard.
Okay, so
I heard
just
you.
message. Just message me. Just message me right now.
Yeah,
Okay,
wait, why does
here's a
everyone-
hint. Here's a
why does-
hint. Here's a hint.
Why does every? Well, I
There's
was
more
just gonna say,
space between her teeth than there is brains inside her.
Brussels! Stop.
I'm just
stop,
surprised
stop,
that there
stop.
was. Everyone seems to know what is being discussed. Okay, so what scandalous thing has been claimed against me now?
It was when they were going after Kofi. Okay. And
I'm sorry. Can we stop for a moment?
What?
Is TikTok divided between people who call her a Tina and then you weirdos?
I don't. No, I call her both.
What is the
I
Kofi
switch back and
thing?
forth. I switch back and forth. She said it was from a book that she read. It was just a person in the book.
I don't understand. When people say Kofi, I'm like, do you need...
Y'all need to stop name dropping shit in the comments. I'm seeing
Okay,
y'all.
so go ahead. This must have been a big one. What? I'm like, do you need...
Y'all need to stop name dropping shit in the comments. I'm seeing
Okay,
y'all.
so go ahead. This must have been a big one. What happened? It doesn't
I
sound like I was
literally
mentioned.
said,
Doesn't
do
sound
not
like I was
say
name
her
dropped in a
name
good
on
way.
here. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Go ahead. It doesn't sound like I was name dropped in a good way, but go ahead.
Comment for name dropping. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Go ahead. It doesn't sound like I was name dropped in a good way, but go ahead.
Comment for name dropping.
No, I'm talking about on this live of this
It
mysterious
was when
person.
a particular group of people were going after said person, and they name dropped you.
This
It was
mysterious
when
person.
a particular group of people were going after said person, and they name dropped you in reference to you being on said person's panel. That's the only reason you were name dropped.
Oh, I heard that. That wasn't.
Yeah,
Why is
that's
that
all.
memorable
That's
to
all.
everyone? That was
I
a
don't even know.
non-memorable mention.
I was
Is
It
that what you
really.
guys
confused
were
about
referring to in
who
the
said your
comments?
I
name.
don't.
The group of people who said your name is which
What I
didn't.
keep on hearing is something about the fact that why would you keep on platforming a racist like Irish? That's the only thing I had heard. But that was about it. I could take that. I've been called that multiple times. I can that weighs on me, but I can muster through on that one. Um,
Well, I moved to my main account because the Payton haters got me on. Well, not the haters. The Payton stands got me on my on my alt account.
Peyton
They
has
got me.
friends.
I don't know. Listen, he got people there, but let the counter. That's all I gotta say.
How does that? How does a mustache like that have friends?
I don't know. All I
It
know
gets
is
cop. Why would
Starts off with them pulling over some kids who are smoking up, and they trick them by making them think that they're like too high or something. Super Troopers. He's almost like a mix of the cops from Super Troopers with the oversized mustaches and kind of Ryan Reynolds. Anyone else see
bro?
the
What the
Ryan
fuck?
Reynolds thing?
Ryan Reynolds? No,
I,
he reminds me more of.
Go watch how he talks. He definitely tries to emulate Ryan Reynolds.
yeah, I was about to say it. Now, after knowing everything I know about Ryan Reynolds, I see it.
Wait a second. Do you watch Ryan Reynolds? I felt like Ryan Reynolds was exclusively for the white people.
No,
Bruh.
bruh. I would say he's only
Like
for
you
the
can't
white
name three
people,
movies he's
but
been
at
in,
the
right?
I watch
Deadpool 1,
people
Deadpool
and
2, and Deadpool 3,
See, I
bitch.
was right. I was right.
and what's it called? Guy. What's it? Is that
Wow.
the one? Guy.
That's half a name.
And there's a few
I give
rom-coms.
it to you. Yeah,
Yes, that
the
is a
couple.
genre, Brussels.
Yeah.
That is a genre. That is not a
Either
movie.
way,
Isn't he
either
like I
way,
Hate
Is
You
he in
or
movies with women as well?
John
Could you be
Tucker
more
Must
specific?
free
Die or
guy. Yeah,
something?
free guy. That's what it was.
Oh, I thought it was
The
Fall Guy.
proposal.
No,
Oh,
is
I
it Free
remember
Guy?
the proposal.
Amityville horror was actually pretty damn solid. I was surprised, Katie. I was not expecting that to be good, but he killed that role.
Hi,
Yeah.
Kaz.
Hi,
Hello.
guys.
Shubity's up
Hey,
here.
Shubity.
Can I
But
call
yeah,
Shubity the token white person? Is
and
that
the shit I said on Parker's
Oh,
panel, they
Brussels doesn't
got
think I'm
me.
white. Wait, what'd you say, Magical?
I said with the shit I said on Parker's panel, they got me on my
You,
I
you
heard
know
what
what's
you said. You
crazy?
didn't say anything
The
crazy. What's
further
that, Cass?
with all this stuff that's been popping up recently, it's just been like so crazy seeing two friend groups collide for me. Because like one of the friends I currently actively talk to on a daily basis is Tachika. Um, and like all of this is just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And who's the other one? When you say two friend groups, who's who? I mean, everyone's clashing with five people right now. So who are you specifically talking about her clashing with?
Like I just well, so what I'm saying is like I'm seeing them intermingle. Like when I'm like
Oh, is this
right,
like
like
where
so
you've
like
got like your high school friends, your college friends, your work friends, and all of a
yeah.
sudden you walk into a restaurant and they're all at the same table?
Yeah, because I go into Kobe's live and I see Magical there. I'm like,
Oh.
what's going on?
Yeah, I've been seeing magical in some weird spaces as well. I
me when
agree.
I
It's
heard
been weirding me
Magical's
out.
voice on Parker's panel randomly?
That
Yo,
was
I
nice to hear. That was actually magical should get platform more. So that was actually really what's
Oh,
the
I
word?
agree. But I was like,
Yeah, Magical
what?
should be actually everywhere all the time. You know,
Yeah, no, I agree.
this whole thing, it just like my
Well,
thinking
Kaz, you
is,
can't say this whole.
you know,
Yeah, no, I agree.
this whole thing, it just like my
Well,
thinking
Kaz, you
is
can't say this whole thing. There's 20 things going on right
okay.
now on
So
TikTok.
currently
Oh, the
with
other thing you
two,
can't say, Kaz, is you.
okay, so two people specifically. both white creators on this app, I feel like cycle through the black people who they also platform at the same time. And I won't even just limit it to two, but I've seen multiple white leftists or white creators who claim to be leftists on this app also allude, or it seems to me that they'll have one specific black person that they actively interact with and do lives with, and then immediately after something happens with that black creator, they'll immediately start doing more with another black creator, and that seems really disingenuous to me. It definitely one of those in the comments, but it's weird that they can only do one black person at a time, as if
It's like
we're
adopt a
the
black
black.
person, but they
Yeah,
can
and
only
it
feed one
gives
puppy at a time. Yeah.
one black person in the sitcom full of white
I
people
was
for the
about to
comic
say the
relief.
exact same thing. I was about to give the exact same analogy. Yes.
So, I mean, why are you only like, spill the bowl messy? Why are we not getting like drop the paint messy and name the two creators?
Uh, I don't care. It's Johnny and Dean.
I
Oh,
knew it. I
Johnny's a
knew it.
piece of shit.
I
Johnny,
knew it.
I don't know Johnny. I saw Johnny speak for 10 minutes and I was like, I don't fuck with Johnny. Johnny's not, like, I can just sniff him out. Um, Dean, the only thing I would ask about Dean is Dean, it's hard for me to remember, but like, I feel like Dean kind of started with Tashika, is kind of how I remember. And like, now I know he fucks with Atina, but who are you talking about? What is the cycle that you're talking about?
I mean, Athena and him has been friends for years, though. That's not something that's new.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm sort of
but
confused by. Like, I don't see
my
him
thing is
cycling
like
as much.
he'll have major people who he'll be around,
Hmm.
and they'll always consist of one black person, and this happens a lot that I see with white creators on this
Yeah,
side,
I
is they'll
see it.
have literally like one black person that they'll often bring up on on those panels, and if something happens with that friend, they'll switch to another person.
Kaz,
And I've
Kaz, I think you need to understand that, like, as a white person is unpacking, the number of black people around them can make them nervous. So you have to ease them into it.
Shut
So
up.
it may just be that he's in the number one phase. He'll graduate
but
to two friends at
this
one
is
point,
how
graduate to
this
three friends as he moves along.
Iris
this is
is
how I feel
joking,
about that.
chat. That's a joke, chat, for those of
That is
you.
a
Yeah,
100% a joke. That
yeah.
was
So
satire.
how, but for real, how I feel about this though is what I've seen a lot lately, especially like with Dean, is a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, give him grace," blah blah blah. Oh, he's just unpacking his racism. I feel like when you have a platform like you do, especially with someone like Dean, um, and you're speaking on Black Matters, if you're actively trying to, deconstruct your racism, you're not always going to be right. But there was a time specifically when Sam, one of my friends on this app, talked to him on his live and saying, "Hey, what you're saying about black people actually is wrong, and this is what you should do." And instead, he proceeded to try to debate her on racism, which when you're debating a black person on racism as a white person, it always comes off icky. But people in the comments, his supporters, were using slurs to her, and he wasn't saying anything about
What?
it. Um,
I, I would say I'm not. Okay, I'll say this about the supporters. I'm not surprised with the supporters. I just joined Dean's Discord, and the amount of shit I've seen from the
Seriously?
supporters is actually crazy. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like me and a couple of people just dog hopped on this racist that was in his server, and I don't know if she's out yet, but
Did
it's
what? You say dog hopped? First we have kick dropped, and now we have dog
listen,
hopped?
listen, because she was calling racism
Got it, bro.
drama, third grade drama and shit, and so me and a couple of other people were like, if you don't get your racist ass out of here with your bad tan, like I don't.
It's a
yes, I've always known her as Kobe because that's her name on TikTok. That's her username. I've never
Wait.
called her Athena.
Oh. Interesting.
Wait,
Okay.
wait. What was I?
That's a
Oh,
good
I
one.
was gonna just say
Wait, does she
magical.
not want us to
Careful.
call her that? Sorry, go ahead, Brussels.
No, she said Athena's fine today on a live. I heard her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Magical, be careful not to make fun of people's skin color. Okay.
No, no,
Or
no.
What?
It's okay when
She had a
it's
bad
Trump
tan.
orange.
She had a bad tan. What are you talking about? Well, I don't know if she went to a tanning sauna. It looked
no,
like she went to a
I'm
tanning
being
sauna.
facetious because
Wait,
I
who are you
heard this
talking about?
on
Who went to what? What? Who?
this. Magical is making fun of this woman's spray tan because she was
Whose?
orange.
Yeah, I'm gonna make fun of her spray tan. If you're gonna pay money to get a goddamn tan, it might as well be a good tan.
So then
Wait,
I
who's? I'm
jokingly.
missing out. Whose spray tan was bad? I mean,
Just
The
I
so
think
then,
all of them
racist
are,
that
but
I called out in the server.
oh, got it.
so then I said facetiously, "Don't make fun of her skin color."
Whoa,
But
whoa, whoa, whoa!
so
Sorry, hold on one sec. Sorry, Kath. Is Nurse Heather? Can someone in here check on Nurse Heather and make sure she's not live? Because if so, we need to go chase her off the goddamn app. You fucking weirdo. Sorry, go ahead, Kaz. You were gonna say?
yeah, so I was just saying, so at first I was like disagreeing with Kobe on like Dean definitely tokenized her, but after hearing him actually speak, like even though I really don't like him that much, I can tell he did not tokenize her.
Mm.
What I did hear though, I kind of heard he tokenized the situation by saying, "Oh, I talk to black people." He then now by saying that is tokenizing the black people that he has in his life, saying they're teaching me,
Is,
But
you
then,
know.
so is
Can I
how's
say
that
something?
tokenizing? I'm kind of confused because like educate
I
me.
would.
If someone asks how do I unpack, I mean, my answer would not simply be I talk to black people, right? I think he was saying he has a learning disability that prevents him from reading books. Okay, there's other things he could do. Do you
Wait,
know what I
did he
mean?
say
No, he
that?
doesn't.
Yeah, he
Did
did.
he?
Or
Wait,
sorry,
so
sorry,
Because he
sorry,
did take
sorry.
book
I
recommendations.
apologize.
So I'm just
Not a learning disability. He said he had what was it? What was it
And so,
again?
so
He
the
said
people in the
something
comments who are just
dyslexic. Oh, he is dyslexic. Yeah, so he
yeah.
said he's dyslexic and as a result he doesn't like to read books.
so,
Oh,
and I just want to point out something in the comments. People are saying, well, they asked him the name. Yes, and that's where I disagree that it was not tokenizing. Uh, he wasn't tokenizing her. But before then, they asked what he's doing to unpack. The first thing he mentioned was, oh, he has numerous people, black people that he talks to. And in doing so, he only mentioned one person when they asked, right? Like, you said, oh, well, mainly Kobe, which I get, like, oh, if that's the main person, but you just said you can't even name two. That seems a little bit disingenuous to me.
I mean,
so I can I say
I
something on this?
I would be deeply
uh,
uncomfortable
I'm
naming
sorry, Magical, but
people.
I just wanted to say something because I've actually talked to Dean about this multiple times. I've brought up race issues with him multiple times in his server. And when I've discussed it with him, um, he has always said that he gets education from people he knows. Um, and just was it yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, he was in Parker's Discord, and um, he had asked the Discord pretty much if they thought that black people can be racist to other black people.
DNS that.
Yes.
oh,
Um, and I responded to him, and pretty much I responded and I told him that this is the issue that I have with him, is that as somebody who is the head of, the Unfuck Tour and who has 2 million followers, who's leading one of these movements, that this is not the questions that he should be asking. That, like, this is something that he should be way informed about. And he kind of just buckled down again.
Can
I
I
do have
ask
all
though, was
screen
that
caps.
a was that like a sincere question or was he like I kind of feel
Yes.
like surely he would know how people would respond to that question.
Well,
Like
I
he's
it, yeah, I'm just confused. That just seems like such a obvious question,
so
obvious
yeah.
answer to that question.
He was saying how he just wanted to hear other people's responses,
Okay,
but
that's what
he
I was
didn't
curious about.
know
Yeah.
the answer himself. I had to give him the answer.
You, But this is my point, right? When we have someone with such a big platform like Dean speaking on topics that we've all agreed that he needs more time to get to a point where he is, better at this, he shouldn't be speaking on them then. And that's just, and I'm sorry if you disagree with me, but that's just honestly how I feel. We have someone with such a huge following who is basically controlling and amassing so many people, followers, specifically white leftists, right? And
Mm.
he's uh, and we're allowing him to actually not do the work, right? We're saying, oh, it takes a while. Oh, he's working on it, but he's actively talking about it, right? He's actively talking about it. So I feel like if he's actively talking about black things, he needs to do more work.
Yeah, and I think that since I have had similar conversations with him multiple times, and I think it's gotten to a point like, again, like I want the best for him because I know he is ahead, like people do look up to him, so I do want the best for him. But I think it's gotten to the point for me that if you're asking questions like that, where like that's like a third grade question, and it's worrisome that like you aren't obviously educating yourself
I
enough,
would
because
say
if I'm talking to you repeatedly about these things months in between and you're still asking kind of questions like that, there needs to be some more literature you're reading, or podcasts if you have to, or like audiobooks, or like there needs to be more going on. And it just concerns me.
And you are, I mean, I would love to see the specific question only because you do seem to be stating that he's looking for opinions, but that he really didn't know the answer. And like when you say third grade,
Yeah, let me post it
it
in
is a
the
very
Discord.
entry level question. And so like I guess that does surprise me. Like I don't see Dean debate much, right? So I don't really know how much he debates topics that concern black communities, and I don't know how nuanced he is when he's
he
in the
goes back and
conversation. But
forth
that's a
on
bit
from to is being gay wrong or
nuanced he is when he's
he
in the
goes back and
conversation. But
forth
that's a
on
bit.
from to is being gay wrong uh or being gay isn't wrong, prove me wrong, shit like that. And he
I
bounces
thought he
back and
only
forth
debates
from
Trump. Am I crazy?
he bounces back and forth between that
Oh,
one and then racism and legitimate equality. Same thing as Parker. They kind of go around the same topics, move around it.
But my thing is like you
got it.
can. Well, black issues are going to come up in every single thing that he talks about
Yeah.
because everything in this country, unfortunately, is a black issue because racism is interwoven into our society as we
Mm.
live in. So as soon as he starts talking about racism, he is now the spokesperson of anti-racism, um, because he is putting himself on that side. But once you are put on that side of anti-racism, you actually have to, one, say the correct things that are anti-racist and be anti-racist yourself.
And you don't think he's living up to that standard?
So I
Not
posted
at the
it,
moment.
Irish. Oh, I'm so
Because
sorry, Kaz. I'm
Oh,
No,
so
you're
okay,
good.
sorry.
Nicole.
I just wanted to let you know I posted it.
what was I about to say? I was going to say like that's actually a valid ass critique because I was talking about the other day how not it's not a long ass time ago, but it was like a year and some change ago where I remember Dean going into one of the lives I was on with one of my mutuals, and we were talking something about racism. I know that my black ass was talking something about racism, and I remember him coming up on the panel, and that was when he initially had the opinion that white people could experience racism. But from what I've heard, that's changed. But at the same time, at least from now, what I'm hearing, he doesn't really understand that black people can't be racist to other black people. I don't. I don't even know what to think right now. I don't. But this is something I've said numerous times. I just I try to. Well, one thing, I never give white people the benefit of a doubt now. I'm sorry, too much shit has happened for me to give white people the benefit of a doubt. The one thing I will say is when it comes to certain things, I don't think there's ever going to be that perfect white person. I don't believe in such thing. I never believe in perfection whatsoever. And especially when we're in a time where our elders, and I'm talking specifically of black people when I say this, when our elders are sitting here telling us, sit your black ass down because of everything that's been going on, I there's going to have to I don't even know. That's where the nuance of the conversation comes in, because now you have people like Z trying to lead shit, even though Z herself is not really up to the leadership position. She's doing racist shit. We don't want that type of person representing the leadership position. She's doing racist shit. We don't want that type of person representing what we want for America or what we want for us.
Well,
But
I
at the same,
think
there's a lot. All I'm saying is there's a lot that goes into it. And when it comes to anti-racism, deconstructing I don't think there's a couple years within deconstructing. It takes an entire lifetime to deconstruct, and I don't even think they're done deconstructing when they're on their deathbed. So.
And
That's
Which
also, I
is
just
just want
where
to
Magical likes her white people.
supporters are going to be extensions of you. And
Mhm.
a lot of his supporters right now feel emboldened enough to say things like, you should be grateful he's talking about these subjects, as if
Right.
Black people should kneel down to any white people who claims to give a shit about us, which is weird, right?
I mean,
If
that's
most of
worse
his
than weird.
yeah, if most of his supporters are acting this way, and anytime a Black creator says what he's doing is wrong, they immediately dogpile. I think there's a clear indicator that there's a reason why these people are gravitating towards Dean.
Sorry, not to derail. It's only going to take one moment. Guys, I just want to announce very quickly. I'm going to be having a very special live on Sunday, TBD on timing, but probably around about 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be concerning Bobby G. If you guys can go to Mac's profile and just very quickly promote her last video that she just posted on Bobby G, I would appreciate it. But I want to put a nail in that coffin this Sunday, and with the receipts that I finally got, I hope to be able to do that. This has been a commercialized announcement and advertisement for this Sunday. We appreciate
I
you
would
guys
like
very
to give
much.
a disclaimer and a PSA that is a metaphorical nail and a metaphorical coffin. We are speaking in metaphors.
I've actually made that disclaimer every single time except for that one. Um, but sorry, God damn it, I was about to ask a follow-up question to what Kaz just said. Kaz, what was the last part of what you just said?
I
I was
was
about to
talking
ask a
about how
follow-up.
his followers
Oh,
are
his
like,
followers. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, what does it indicate? So, like, does it indicate something specific about Dean, or does it indicate something generalized to that population? And by that population, I mean, I imagine most of his supporters are white and under the age of 25 and American.
I was going to say one thing. At least my observation, and in this sense, I would say not all the time does the supporters reflect the person, and the only reason I see that is because Dean is a white man, and in some people's words, with a pretty face. A lot of his supporters are young white women that do not give a fuck about some of the issues that he talks about. They're just there to think they got a chance. So to me, I have a very mixed opinion, because at least from what I've been seeing so far, I see a lot of people that don't give a fuck in his server. I'll be so real.
That don't give a fuck about what specifically.
I see a when I say don't give a fuck, I'm talking about the racism. The amount of people that I've seen that refer to it as drama or so on and so forth, and the amount of times the amount of people that I've seen that refer to it as drama or so on and so forth, and the amount of times that Dean has had to kind of go in and say this is a very important issue that should be addressed, that I should be holding, kind of go in and say this is a very important issue that should be addressed, that I should be held accountable, so on and so forth. There, it's been a lie. I have a very mixed
Or on your community as your
opinion.
community
Uh,
grows.
That's why I
Because
say I have a mixed opinion.
yeah, because like I think for those of you who are in my server, you guys know it's very controlled. We don't let hardly anyone in because we want to make sure people are like-minded in terms of values and morals, right? And I have that luxury because I'm not trying to grow a following, right? He has the exact opposite. He's not cultivating any sort of like active community, as far as I know, and it's more about a place to be able to advertise to and communicate to a large base. And in that sense, no, not not denigrating what he may be trying to achieve, but is that really a community, or is that just sort of like a
Mm.
advertisement medium for him that also offers a place for people to talk, but not necessarily a place for people to talk on issues that he would care about, if
I
that
don't
makes
think
sense?
it's a community for real. And I say that knowing what a community looks like, what it feels like, and how a community walks around each other and how they interact with each other, I don't think that's a community at all.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a slight. I think what I'm saying is when you're that big a creator, can you have a community?
Mm. Mm.
Like, what the hell does it mean for someone who's got millions of followers? And I don't know how big his server is, but it's got to be in the tens of thousands at this point. Can you
so
really develop a community at that stage? Or does it become, as someone said in the comments, a glorified public forum with a figurehead?
you know, I do agree with you that it can be harder to build a community when you have that many followers on whatever it may be, and the places where you do have for people to come and talk about certain issues can grow to that large of a number. But the problem is, it would be one thing if he was because there's no way that he's not seen these things, because he's talked about it before. But my problem becomes where you know that people are talking like this, you know that there are people who support you, who think like this, and you don't think to, hey, let me make a video or a post denouncing this type of behavior from specifically your supporters, from specifically your followers. He doesn't do that. He allows his followers to act in the way that they do. So not only is he not doing what he should be doing to impact that behavior, but he's emboldening his supporters to also not do work as well.
So then, so like going step by step, you believe then, even when you have a large community, and someone confirmed in the comments, thanks Viv, that it's 17 and a half. You believe that not only can you have an impact in terms of the tone of that community, meaning it doesn't have to become a free for all Wild West public forum, you believe that a creator can control. Or let me go back one step. Sorry. Is his community his Discord, or is his community the totality of his followers on TikTok?
Mm.
Because like it would be one thing to say that you think he can cultivate a community in his Discord, and then I would ask, is there an obligation for him to do so? But I guess I should tell you what my follow-up questions are going to be. What is his community? And then the next question is can a person actively control and cultivate a community of that size? The next question is going to be, does a creator have an obligation to do so?
I would say that a community is a lot more personal related, like not personal to the creator. Like I would say that, like for example, like you have people like Andrew Tate, right, who has
Hmm.
hundreds and hundreds of people that follow him or might like listen to him or something. But then you have those like actual red pillars who are part of like that actual community. And I would say that it could kind of be the same way that you have like these people who might be in the Discord or might just watch his lives, who are actively interested in him and actively interested in each other. I think that it doesn't have to be just the Discord or just the lives, but are actively engaged. Andrew Tate, I mean, or like any, like,
Sorry, I was muted. So then that would be millions of people for Dean, correct?
it could be. I mean, like,
So then the
all of those.
question is, can you control millions of people? And what is your responsibilities as a creator? Because for him to simply make a video, you guys, it's going to get lost. It's going to get lost within 4 days. It's going to be gone, right? And to pin that as your top video, that's some incredibly important real estate. And don't get me wrong, that could be sort of the point, that your community is so important it should be your pinned video, right? That could be the argument, right? But I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, can you control and influence millions of people in a more intimate way, when a lot of people may be watching you to hate watch you for all you know? Um, I'm only saying this because, like, it's in no way arguing one way or another. It's really me just trying to figure out, are we putting reasonable expectations on people? Because, like, I find it, well,
I
no, I was about
honestly,
to say I find it, go ahead.
so how I see it, I think what I've stated is reasonable because one, it you posting a video and pinning it like something like you said, yes, it may get lost, but it shows he's actively trying to have the community that he has or the following that he has to fit into this specific model, right? And this model being conscious of the racism that you're showing, being conscious of how you're perceived,
Hmm.
um, and he's not doing that, right? So if he was, I would have a lot more grace for him if he was doing those things. But when he's not even trying, I feel that shows one, a lack of effort and a lack of want to have a following that has certain morals. It almost seems like he's just doing it for views rather than actually trying to educate.
Well, then let me interrupt there for a moment, right? They're doing the Unf America tour, right? And there's 30 people who were involved in it, or I think, and they were going to be going from college to college to college, right? Realistically, they're going to get a few clips from it. They're going to influence a couple of voters. That's about it, right? Could perhaps the lesson from the UNF America be that instead of even trying to go outside of your wheelhouse to go to colleges and start influencing other people, could it be that what influencers should really be doing is attracting people to watch their platform, but then focusing heavily on cultivating sort of morals and values and instilling them in the people who are watching you? Because as much as he may go to Texas AMU and get one new voter to sign up,
Texas
he
A&M.
ha I just made that up. Is that actually a college?
It's A&M.
Okay, there we go. A&M. And so rather than like try to get one person to sign up, is it better to invest your time in your existing kind of captive audience, set of followers, and cultivate a certain set of values or shared moral principles with them?
Don't mind if I introduce myself, or do you want me to just keep
You don't have to
on?
introduce yourself, but you can just jump right in.
Yeah, sure. I'm 18.
Oh, I
Black.
appreciate you joining, but it's 19 plus. I apologize for that. It's just my own
Okay, see you.
personal preference. Sorry about that.
I say something kind of a hot crash outtake, just in general.
Yeah, but don't betray the screenshot and get me canceled.
No, I just
Okay.
think that a large issue that I had with the tool.
Don't betray the screenshot and get me canceled.
No, I just
Okay.
think that a large issue that I had with the tour is that it kind of, whether it be some of the people that were on the tour or the way that the tour was, I guess, like oriented itself, it did seem to emulate a lot of problems that are present in the left in politics in general and in America. So it's just kind of ironic that they called themselves the Unfuck America tour with,
With some fucked up shit going on with it.
Yeah, an unfuck tour led by men is just like so many levels of ironic. I can't even get into it. But an unfuck tour led by
Let's
men.
call it the un-F tour just because I like
Insane.
this account. I would love to not to get banana
I
today,
would
just
just
1 minute.
say that the other thing is that, like, I hate to say this, but knowing where they were, the people at that college were only going to listen to a certain demographic anyway. You're talking about College Station, Texas. It's like between Austin and Houston. Um, A&M, home of the Aggies, and part of the alt-right pipeline. So, like,
I mean, yeah,
I'm
but
sorry. Okay, this is my hot take. I'm sorry, but I do not like I pay money to go to university and listen to old people speak to me, okay? The second you started inviting people over the age of 28 on that tour, it sounded like the weird men that proselytized
I
outside of my
very much agree with that.
university. Okay,
I
so
got to
you are
admit,
not
it
meeting
looked weird.
you're
Yeah.
not meeting kids where they're at when you do that. You're preaching to them. They're going to walk
yeah,
past you. A lot of them do not want to interact with you.
it's kind of giving those.
Okay.
It's kind of giving those people that stand like, okay, so if y'all have ever been to Vegas and you guys have been to like the Strip or Fremont Street, you know how there's like those people that be standing like around on those corners or whatever that preach
I've
about
been
God
told
and
of
the
those people.
No,
Bible, and they're like,
magical. That's
yeah,
literally what I'm talking about. But at
yeah, that's
Texas
what I.
universities,
That's what I'm saying.
those people come on to campus and do that, and sometimes they'll have microphones or literal
Yes,
soapboxes.
See, that was
Um,
not the impression I got. I actually think
I
the way
mean,
that Charlie Kirk does it is good in the sense that it sort of creates distance between him and the younger students. Whereas some of the videos I saw, it almost looked like the 35 to 40-year-old guy who shows up at a college party. It just felt like you shouldn't be that close to that student. Like
right, that's what
there
I'm
was
saying. And they try to like
no, but the guys you're talking about, like they are often standing in the middle of a circle, and there's like 10 feet between them and everyone else, and it's just weirder to me that I don't know they were so close and upfront with these people that it
so
just felt like I don't know, it just felt really
I'm
yeah,
weirdly.
referring to like a very specific group of people. Like sometimes they do have mics and they're on soapboxes, but other times they're like handing out Bibles or they're literally stopping you, giving you flyers and trapping you in conversation. Um, I don't know. I think I don't want to sound ageist, but when you are trying to teach people things or you're trying to connect with a certain base, there is the concept of meeting people where they're at. And it can be difficult to do that if you're older, if you're talking to a demographic that is not necessarily receptive or you do not speak their language.
yeah, like
I think
I'm less likely to
Yes,
and
Matt.
I feel like, oh, my bad.
No, you're
No, go
fine.
ahead, Magical.
No, I was just going to say, and I was trying to find the right words, but I guess I'm just gonna say it like the way it came to my mind. I'm more likely to listen to people around my age that can actually meet me on my level versus somebody that it feels like they're talking down to me when it's somebody of an older age demographic. And I just like, don't get me wrong, I still listen. But at the same time, I feel like I would be more receptive if I was on a college campus and there was a whole debate going on and I interacted within that debate, or I'm watching it and all I see is this 21-year-old or 19-year-old versus a 35-year-old or 30.
I think a lot of the problem was that like it was so unorganized. And I know that like that's been a huge topic, but like it seems like they just threw a bunch of random creators together and those kind of circumstances. Like it just seemed like they just like picked random people and like, okay, go ahead. You know, like I don't think they had any thought process to it.
I mean, they
Well,
didn't have
I don't
anything
like
to do.
don't like criticizing on that note specifically. Only because I feel like there's a bit of confusion between what Dean and Parker and the other creators would have been responsible for and or had power over, and
No,
what
no,
you're
no. I just
talking
want to.
about is the Un-F America pack, right?
I'm talking about like the organization. Like
Yeah, I think
I'm
everyone says
assuming
that
C.
sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
like
everyone, yeah, so like to me that's why like I don't really understand why people are talking about the organization part in the sense that no one's going to use that pack moving forward. Like I'm more interested in like what are the things that are like if Parker or someone else were to do this again, what is it? I mean, I guess your feedback would be they need to pick a better organized group actually now that I think about it. So it probably is something you fold into it. Um, But like I'm more so like what are the sort of things that like they could have done better themselves moving forward that would have made it more impactful. Cuz like, there's a lot of organizational stuff like having the sprinklers turn on like obviously there was a lot of missed things and stuff, but like even if all those things were not missed, right? Even if they all showed up on time and they were coordinated and stuff, I don't think people thought the tour was impactful. So, like, how is it you would have suggested making the tour more effective or more, I don't know, important or significant?
It also seemed like many of the people had like they were just walking around and kind of just finding people to debate, like I felt like maybe this goes back to the organization. Maybe that goes back to the organization too. But like it didn't seem like there was anything within their control. I don't know.
No, but what you're alluding to there, though, is like, what was it they were there for? Was it to have a one-on-one debate? Was it to find a random person to have a clip? Was it to actually speak to a crowd? Like, it does seem like it was a little bit purposeless. Like, that's not just simply an organizational point. It's sort of like, when you do this sort of thing, I think the number one thing whenever you organize an event is to ask yourself at the beginning of the event, what does success look like for this event? And I'm not really, I always knew what the point of the event was for them to be like, basically trying to show that Democrats and liberals and leftists are not ceding this space. And I know that there was a hard metric with regard to voter registration, but I do wonder if they ever stopped and asked, what does success look like?
Yeah,
Um,
because I'm just
and I'm not
thinking,
sure they
right?
did.
If I'm like walking around my campus and I hear of like Republicans just walking around trying to talk to people, I'm like, for the most part, I'm kind of a
That'd be weird.
controversial person, but like for the most part, people aren't going to want to really deal with that like on their way to classes, So I just feel like it was kind of like all over the place. Like they didn't have a specific thing that they were doing.
Nicole, especially so close to finals.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially since Charlie Kirk was there. So if they were going to do something that, like, was a big event for the day, why wouldn't they go to the big event for the day?
I also think that they would have had, so I understand the intention. I do think it was a good intention, but I also think they would have luck starting out at a little bit more progressive universities that are starting to lose their progressive voter base. Like, specifically areas that are more city-like. Specifically to me, Denton is very liberal. Denton, Texas is extremely liberal, but outside of it isn't so liberal, and people are slowly becoming more, or I should say, less and less left.
I
Um,
I'm reading some of the suggested purposes that they were there. Anxiety Monster said they had said it was to try and dispute misinformation and deter people from the red pill pipeline. So if it was to dispute misinformation, is them going around randomly picking random people on the campus the best way? Because if it was to dispute misinformation, perhaps like it would have made more sense for them to pick a central location on campus, have a screen advertising Charlie Kirk, having Charlie Kirk in the background, but then having all of the 30 people on a platform where they are critiquing and mocking and correcting everything Charlie Kirk is doing. And that way people would go to their event because they're seeing the Charlie Kirk thing, but they're also getting to see a roast and they're getting to see misinformation combated. So if that was what their goal was, I don't think they do it by just randomly going around. And T Rap said, I think the point was to represent the opposition while Kirk is there. Well, if that was the goal, then what success would look like, I would imagine, is stealing as many people away from Charlie Kirk's space. And that would, to me, be less about going around randomly and picking people up. And it would be more about having like music events or something that would draw people away from Charlie Kirk and be the hotter scene on campus. And so, like, I really do think, even though you guys are saying in the comments, this is what they wanted to do, this is what they wanted to do, even the things you're saying they wanted to do, I'm not seeing that what they did was necessarily accomplishing any of those things. And I'm not actually really a big critic of the tour because I'm a big fan of like just try it and you learn from your mistakes. So, like I'm all about failing on your first try, but it would have been nice. I don't know. It's just weird to like not know what the purpose was even after the event is sort of already done one part of the tour.
Curious take, but perhaps it was enough of a train wreck that more people want to witness it as the tour continues. Um,
Thing. Oh, I'm sorry, Pretzel.
that was just all, but
Another thing that I think would be really important, actually, um, is the fact that not everybody wants to debate. And I think that it's really important that, like, a lot of people could get useful information out of 30 people being there, but doesn't feel comfortable debating, especially on
Mhm.
a platform, you know? And so, I don't know, like, only a very few people are going to want to come in front of, Dean and Parker, especially, and debate these topics. And so I feel like they're losing a huge group of people because they don't want to debate.
And like,
Yeah,
I
go
just
ahead,
want to
Kath.
say that also, like from the clips I've seen, I wasn't seeing them trying to, I guess, really get them to onto the our side. What I saw was, oh, are you voting for Trump? And they would, of course, say yes. And then they say why, and they give their reasons, but then they'll say something that they've already heard before, whether it be he's a rapist, uh um he's a felon, he blah blah blah. And then they would just be like, Trump 2025, blah blah blah, all this stuff that it just feel like nothing came out of that video besides saying, "Oh, look at this dumb MAGA person," which we already know that those dumb MAGA people exist.
Yeah, which goes to like another point that I had said on another live, which is the fact that I honestly think debate bro type culture is like a pipeline to the alt right, and I'm whether you're a leftist or you're on the right who's doing it, because the debate bro culture it's just this competitive environment where the whole goal is to win, not learn, not understand, not have empathy, but to win at any cost. And you intellectualize all of the incredibly important emotional human issues. And, I'm just not sure if a leftist movement is best suited to use the tool of debate bro culture to sort of get its message out there. Like, I just don't think it's the right medium, frankly.
I think that like debate bro culture gives people like the false sense of like they're the smartest person in the room and like all they need to do like all the only way I have to like they get, I think they get it in their heads that like all they have to do to like fix an issue is just like debate it to death or something, which is why it's like it almost makes sense to me that that's why they would just go up to like random college students and just be like, if I just like go for the W, I think that'll make sense, right? You know, it'll change their minds, right? Like it's just I don't know what chronically online shit this is, but it makes no sense to go up to random college students and do this. Like what the fuck?
Mm, this is. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Also, I've seen this thing of like uh we've been pandering so much that we've lost the plot. And that's like so true because the more we are trying to like pander to specific white people in this space, we're losing the fact that just because you may claim to be on one side, you still benefit from the system we're actively trying to destroy. Um, and if we're just allowing you to say that you're a leftist or you're a liberal and that's enough, then you'll stay the exact racist person that you are today.
Mhm.
How
I'm saying.
how does that relate though to the tour? in the sense like how do you combat that with a change to the tour if they were to do something moving forward?
Stop having so many, oh, like, honestly, having so many white people um being at the forefront of it, right? And yes, there
So
was black creators there, but um it just felt like when you looked at who was all of the main people doing it, it just was like a sea of white faces to me.
so this gets to like the thing that I always struggle with, which is how is it white folk are actually meant to advocate in an effective way, right? Let's take this tour and let's flip it. Now let's make all the headliners, some of the bigger names from debate talk in the black community. How does that tour play out in your head, Kaz?
To
Because like
me,
I have a
I
hard time believing that like white Texas boys are going to show up for that, or they may, but in a very bad way.
Can
but
you check Discord?
Sure. Oh, I see.
um
Yep.
so in that aspect, once we start saying, oh, the easiest way for white people to learn is from other white people, we're now saying, like, you know what I'm saying?
Obviously, I see that when you're using white people to communicate to white people, you're leaning into the very sort of racist tendency you're trying to combat. So obviously, I understand the strong appeal of that argument. And on the flip side, part of the reason why they do that is due to I was going to use the word coverage. It's not coverage. Uh, Breadth, the number of people who you're more likely to be able to listen to you because of the fact that the message is more palatable. And so you're broadening it, but you're broadening it in a way that appeals to the very racist tendencies. And so, how do you balance it? Like, how do you fall on one over the other? And if you choose to go with an all black lineup, will that be successful in Texas? Like, do you think that that could be done in a way that actually works with convincing white college kids who are not leftists, who are not Democrats, who are not in the middle? Do you think that that would be do you think there's a way to do that and for it to be effective?
So how I kind of see it, definitely, I wouldn't definitely go for an all black platform, because diversity, whether we like to believe it or not, actually is a good thing. Um, but so how I see that it would have been so great to go if instead of all of them doing the exact same thing, they had certain people doing specific topics, right? And I wouldn't have had the white people take rate on racism, right? Um, have them take on something that they'll be more equipped to talk about from a white perspective. Um, but then, even doing that, it seems as though we're putting everybody into a box based off of what we think that they would best be capable on doing. It really does seem like a double-edged sword here of like, um, how are we going to be able to actively get more people to change while also having the means to spread the word effectively? Um, and right now, the only way I've been seeing that getting done is by pandering to the white creators, which isn't getting us anywhere.
Well, then you're saying then that is not working. You started by saying that that's the only way it does work, but you're saying that it doesn't work ultimately. And like I really struggle with what the right answer is, in terms of like what is more effective in the long run. And I don't have a clue what the answer is because like I have a really hard time believing that if it was headlined by black creators from debate talk community, that you would get many white folks showing up and changing their minds or being open minded. And in
Mhm.
fact, I would see it being a lot more antagonistic, and almost maybe possibly even dangerous and unsafe. And so, one of the things that's been a little bit frustrating when I've been seeing all of this talk about the tour is that it's so easy to identify issues. It's so easy. It's near impossible to identify solutions. And I think in all the conversations I've listened in on so far, I've not heard a single person say, here is exactly the strategy I would have implemented and it would have been more successful. I've just not heard that.
I
Well,
mean, oh,
I would say that I would I they had a lot of people on the tour, right? I would have people on this tour that were prepped and ready to go on the tour, but be aware of my demographic. Like Texas A&M is very mixed, leaning conservative, but it's like a younger population. They're newbie right wingers. I would not send a lot of like I would not subject a lot of black or trans creators to that. But if you were sending people to Denton, I would have a more diverse space. Or send if like you could have an entirely black tour if you were going to somewhere like PVAMU or Texas Southern. Those are HBCU schools, right? It just I think that you need to be aware of the base that you're talking to and really trying to meet them where they're at if you want to have people who are receptive to the information that they're receiving.
I mean, that sounds like, I mean, that sounds amazing, right? But it also sounds like it sounds like a logistical nightmare. So now you have to identify the demographics, but also sort of the pulse at each university, in order to be able to then tailor your lineup for that, which now means that you are having some people go on one college tour, some not going on the other. Like it just creates a logistical nightmare that I think would be extremely hard to manage. And
I
that's what I'm
agree.
sort of that's what I'm sort of saying is it's so easy to say, well, we should consider this, but the moment you start going down that path, it just kind of it's not that it falls apart, but it becomes very difficult. And like I do kind of wish that in all of this, when people have been bringing up criticisms, um, like I feel for everyone who is attached to it, except for Z. I feel for everyone who is attached to it who is helping the planet that they were being told all of the bad stuff without anyone saying, here is constructive feedback. And by constructive, there was lots of feedback that was given as to what was wrong. That was constructive, don't get me wrong. But how do you implement it to make it better? How do you fold it in? Like, how do you make it all work in a way? And I think a large reason why I didn't see that is it's really fucking hard. And I don't think the left has figured this out. And so everyone's sort of like, we know this isn't it. We know this doesn't smell right, but no one's really saying here's what it should be.
I mean, I do remember. I don't think I said this to. No, I didn't even get a chance to talk to who I wanted to talk to. But I remember saying to Parker when it comes to working in the future, because he did say that he wanted to continue like doing this shit, not particularly with F America.
Hmm.
They disassociated from that completely once Z refused to step down. But they still want to try to figure out how to organize something to which they can continue going on tour or whatever. But all I do remember saying is we need to. Now, I always say this: you won't fully 100% know somebody unless they let you know who that person is. But I did say that uh, I did say that we should properly vet people a little bit more. And when I said that, I mean like have conversations with them regarding certain subjects. Talk to them, see how they react to certain things, see how they react to certain people before we make the big decision of working alongside them, especially regarding something that would have a large impact. And that was one of my main things to begin with. And I have more. I just didn't get a chance to say it.
I
But
I think the vetting, from a liability standpoint, that is something that can be implemented without it being problematic. Like, as in, that's an actual add-on that is kind of indisputable, right? In terms of the other part, I would expand on it, or maybe this is what you were saying, which is I think people kind of thought that they were just going to show up and do what they do on TikTok. And there was no real sort of alignment of strategy of talking points and stuff. And I do kind of wonder, like, what does it mean for a whole bunch of people who sort of identify as Democrats, liberals, and leftists to really think that they're all on the same page? Like, I guarantee you, the people who went on that tour were not on the same page. Like, one of the guys, I couldn't get over this. I still can't get over this. That one of the guys on the tour, I genuinely think he's going to come out and be like late April Fool's joke, but he had never heard of the word microaggression in his lifetime.
Chris?
I don't know who. Yes, yes, yeah.
Have you seen the
He.
video?
I saw the video. I was like, "What
A
the fuck?"
microaggression. I had
And then
never
he shows a
heard of a
chart as if we need to know what they like.
microaggression before.
And so, like, it was
Microaggression?
sort of like, okay, you're all Democrats, you're all liberals, you're all leftists. I get it. Okay. But you're clearly not all on the same page.
Chris G, guys. Chris G,
Yeah.
venture capitalist.
Who is black, just as a reminder for people in the comments. And he had never. I mean, I'm just saying that, like, that's just wild to me. A national tour, which I don't know if they wore. I guess it was a Texas only tour. I don't really know. Um, I I feel like they just thought we're going to do what we do in TikTok and just do it there, but they're meant to be united. They're meant to be a solid front. They're meant to be like Charlie Kirk is one message, and you guys are not one message. You got one person going around there saying, "What the hell is a microaggression?" And so I feel like there was no respect for the fact that there should have been. I don't know if training is the right word, but certainly um,
In group
sessions where
discussions.
people are, yeah, shared discussions in terms of like, when we say the word Democrat, liberal, and leftist, those are not the same things or the same
Not
people.
at
Even
all.
a Democrat, there's plenty of people who are racist who identify as Democrats. And so, in terms of vetting, to your point, Magical, like asking people, what do you think on these topics? Because everyone's going to be like, yeah, I'm against racism. How about you just stop and ask, what is racism? What isn't racism in your opinion?
What
What
is
is,
misogyny? What is
yeah,
misogynoir? How do you
what,
feel about the abortion going ban? What blah 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 blah. These conversations need to be had, especially if we're talking about doing a whole entire tour about following after this weird ass politician that don't know how to shut his mouth. Now we are sitting here looking stupid because these in conversations that should have been had prior were not had.
yeah, which again is not like a criticism. In my opinion, it's those who can't who are always whining about those who do. And so, like, I think doing anything, even if it flops, is a positive thing, because you're going to learn and do better. But, the lack of, and Shardley used the word right, synthesis between them all it was dismal. It was genuinely dismal. And I think that's majorly problematic. If you're there to combat misinformation and you've got like Jones on one side, and then on the other side you have another black creator saying, um, what's a microaggression? Is that like a branch of micro machines? Like, who's literally clueless as to what it like that's not a good look. It's not a good look.
And even that would kind of be iffy because then we have to say who's going to be asking those questions. Because I can guarantee there was a lot of people there who still think racism is just, you know, slurring or microaggressions or macroaggressions, if they even know what a macro versus microaggression is. Um, Racism has never always just been saying the N word or um, you know, commenting on our skin or our hair, right?
Right.
It is so much more. A lot of them most likely don't know that, and I know some of them don't know that for sure.
Right.
Know that, and I know some of them don't know that for sure.
Right. And I don't know. I just.
Guys, the 100K, don't get me wrong, he may have ran off. She may have ran off with the money, but um, for 30 people with travel and a support staff, like, I wouldn't be shocked if they did blow through it. Like that 150, 100 to 150K,
115.
so like I really would not be shocked if the money was actually blown as opposed to like fake blown, but uh
For
they ran that
College
out.
Station?
Well, people getting down there. Like flights still like each flight, every crater is like you're talking about $300 to $500 for a flight just to start the tour. And I didn't know what the hell the tour was meant to be. Like it's 13 colleges. I thought it was like 13 days. But like now I'm getting the sense that they were meant to be like flying every weekend or something.
Something of the sort.
Yeah, like I guarantee they've booked a few of those flights already. Like that's lost money.
Rented out a restaurant? I am not caught up on this. Um, Not to
Two
derail
floors of
this,
hotel.
but Iris,
But
did
yeah,
you see
no.
the link
They.
I sent you?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I saw the link. I can't click on it, but what's up?
I just wanted to hear you be filled with glee in real time, but I didn't get that.
Oh, well, hang on. It's
While you do that, Irish, can
Yep.
I?
Yeah, advertise. Go ahead.
Okay. Um, I made a video, guys. Another video. It's about Bobby, and it has information in the video. It's my recent. Please go like it and comment and share it because it's important. Um, and there is some new info, but most of it is kind of the same. There are receipts in the video, and so if you want that information, that's there. And then
Guy,
also,
yeah.
um, what?
Well, just for context, because many of you probably don't know, but what she's talking about is a creator called Bobby G Zero Tree One Tree. And just to be super, super clear, this man has been saying that Mac was not great. This man has been saying that Mac did not file police reports. This man has been leading the charge to find her rapist in order to talk to him and hear his side of things. And this man today just posted a video that makes abundantly clear that for the past couple of weeks, this man and his supporters and his friends have been reaching out to Mac's rapist's family in order to hear their side of things. And he is now posting videos advertising the rapist's defense. And so you guys may
Yep.
not know what's going on, which is why I just wanted to give that context. But this guy's next level sociopath, and that will be made abundantly clear this Sunday when I do a live. But if you go to Bobby G Zero Tree One Tree, you will see that his most recent video is him in communication with his supporters, where his supporters are telling them, updating Bobby about their efforts to contact the parents and relatives of the person who raped and essayed Mac, and that they're reporting back that they are denying the grape, which is shocking because I've not met the parents of many rapists who said, "Yeah, yeah, no, my son's a rapist." I've never seen a message like that, so this is not a surprising message for anyone who's been essayed to have the parents of the assayer respond by saying, "Not it." But Bobby is showing these things. So if you guys could just pop over to her profile, it literally, I don't watch her videos. I just hit like, and I just,
Oh my
if
God.
you just do like a neutral comment, like, oh my God, horrible, or if you just do like the hug emoji, I find that that's a really easy way for people to think you're paying attention. So you can do it in 5 seconds and pop right back again. So feel free to do
No, go watch the full video. The engagement will be better if you watch the, or at
that. Okay,
least
so
skip
go
to
watch
the
the
end and
full,
watch the receipts. Damn.
yeah. Camacho, if you would like to come up and talk about how Bobby is schmexualizing his own daughter, I would be more than happy to, again, talk about how Bobby is sexualizing and exploiting his own daughter, which is just wildly disgusting,
Can I opine on
especially
something?
given the fact that that daughter does not talk to him today. Go ahead.
I think that if you're a parent and your child is under the age of 18, it is your duty to be responsible with how you portray their image online. That's just regardless of what you do anywhere, because there are creepy things that can happen to your child. So doing something like that and leaving it up on the internet, it's wrong.
I think it's irresponsible. I didn't think about it. Like a couple of years ago, I wouldn't have thought twice about it. At this point, like, I'm not going to bully parents who put up photos of their kids, but I would strongly advocate against it. If
Publicly with no protections, I think I would have to these days. Like, especially if you're going to announce that people can find pictures of your child online, which is like Bobby is smearing your name, but literally he's working with pedos and saying things like this. I just don't think that's safe. I think that's so irresponsible of him to do.
Yeah, he's literally directing his pedo friends to images of his own daughter, which is just disgusting. Like, that's why we're saying schmexualize and exploit. But in any case, if you guys could do that, I'd appreciate it.
I mean, if he had such an issue with it, he would um, take down any photos of his underage, um, you know, kids when they were underage.
Yeah, fully agree. Um, so any other news that's going on that I'm not aware of on TikTok this week?
Um, Something to be announced. Stay tuned, guys, for Brussels announcement.
Oh, wait, I meant to watch that video you sent me. Hold on, sorry, I got this thing.
Oh yeah, I was gonna sign off and go take a shower and watch it in the shower because we can watch it together. But
I can't show it, unfortunately. Would you rather be president of the United? What the hell? Sorry, hold on. Uh,
Mm-mm-mm.
okay, got it. All right, so this is Santana. All right, so let me pull this up. Oh, wait, no way. Is it? You just sent me a link to a 3 hour, 13-minute video, Brussels.
yeah, but it's the whole thing.
Oh, got it. Can we get a timestamp? You know what I want. I got to get a timestamp on that one.
I was working quickly. Yes, I can go find the timestamp.
I'm very curious. Yeah. Um, but no, we all watch it together. I don't. You know what? Maybe do we want to ask Ernesto if he wants to do a movie night,
I
and
feel
we
like
can
it
go
would
over to
be
his.
messy if we did it together.
Justice for Wakanda Forever, because I know some of y'all haven't watched it, and that's black anti-black of y'all.
I mean, have you seen
Speak
The
for yourself.
Woman King? I fucking love that movie.
I do love The Woman King.
It's such a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
That
I
and
give
Wait,
it
you think it'd be problematic if who watches it? You and me?
I think if we watch it on live, it could be problematic due to things that happened earlier in the day.
Would you get away with doing it yourself?
No, I think it would come off as flippant.
Social approach. I am not able to do it today in 4 hours. I'd be able to do it in 10 hours or anytime 10 hours after. I can join on my super secret alt.
super, super secret.
No, I mean, even if I did it, I think it would come off as kind of. Why don't I just play it in the Discord?
You know what? I'm confused. Why is it I have to be concerned about being messy when people are messy as fuck when it comes to me?
I'm not worried about being messy. I'm worrying about respecting someone very specific's wishes and their feelings
Oh,
surrounding them.
well, obviously that. Yeah. I'll put that part
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little antsy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling a little stabby, to be very honest with you. Yeah, Kayla.
Bobby,
Thank you.
how?
I'm just saying, I'm watching the Discord right now, and these people are messy.
Yeah, I popped in there for just a not a chant Jubilee. I popped in there for a little bit. That's why I asked about the community thing. Is that when I was in Dean's Discord, I didn't have any issues, but I didn't feel like people really even knew each other in there. And that's what I
They
meant by a
don't.
community. It really feels like again, a public forum, which I think is fine. Like from my standpoint, that kind of is what it would become as it becomes bigger. I do think having very stringent rules about kicking
Hmm.
people out would be really important. I think for me, because we have sort of a smaller community, if someone messes up, we're able to like give sort of one-on-one attention in order to like help them be better people and to not mess up, like to improve, and we're sort of invested in that. But when you're getting to be a bigger sort of platform, I think it's okay and valid if you have a large Discord that if one person messes up one time, and they're not like a mod or there's no personal connection where people can really know if this person is like improving, you just kick them. And you just make sure you take the trash out.
Hmm.
Thank you, Candace. I can't believe Kenzie joined and said, "What's up with the background?" Like it's incredibly obvious what's up with the background. I think it is. Jesus. All right. Well, anyway, then you're taking a shower, Brussels. Hey, Joey.
I don't know if this loaded properly. Did I?
Hey, then you're taking a shower, Brussels. Hey, Joey.
I don't know if this loaded properly. Did I?
I am
I saw
going
what you sent me. Yeah.
to, yeah, I'm trying to fix my bedtime because Goose has been waking up between the hours of 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. I don't know why. I think she's just full of spite and rage, and
Those small dogs are kind of like that.
so I'll be up at fucking 6.
Oh, Kristen, I did see your DM. I'll get to you tomorrow. I did see it pop up. Sorry about that.
Should be in home.
Jeannie, no movie night. Sorry. And I hope to not go live tomorrow.
Mm.
Because I have to deal with some personal stuff. Regular debate? I guess we haven't done a regular debate in a while.
You want to finish your Karen Reed thingy?
No, I don't know why. I kind of got. I
What
had
do you
all like these
want to
exhibits set up.
do? Like, what are you feeling?
Generally speaking, or
She
with
wants to
tonight,
be.
Like,
or
what
in
do
the
you want
future.
to? What do you like? What are you in the mood for debate? Like TikTok wise,
Today,
debate, yap.
today, or
Um,
in the future.
no, like right now.
I think it would be a very big mistake for me to debate today. I don't know what was going on. I had some ferocious rage earlier today. And while that may make for a lot of entertainment for you guys, it could lead to some misdirected anger on my side. So I don't think I should get into heated disputes with strangers at this moment.
Are you PMSing, Irish?
Am I PMSing?
You.
I don't think so. We can never really fully know. I don't think that's what it is. Am I hormonal? Yeah, it has to be because there's no reason for this rage. There's literally nothing that should be causing this much frustration over small little things. It's definitely hormones for sure. What's causing them or why they're flaring up? I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Amy.
Irish has been full
It re-
blown. What does full blown girl mean?
I don't even know.
Full
I mean,
blown
really,
girl?
the only options then are to low key debate, or talk about Bobby or yap.
I don't want to talk about Bobby. Um, Irish is depressed. No, I don't think I'm depressed. I definitely don't think that's what it is. Don't insult girls or women like that. There's an exception for Mac.
What?
Um, I bring up JR for mocking. No, my account goes down every darn time. By the way, just as a quick update, if everyone knows about JR, the English guy, if you all remember, my first run-in with him was that he made a reference to his gay friends, where he said about the fact that his gay friends don't talk about being gay around him. And I was like, why would that be? And he made very clear that it was due to the fact that he had communicated to them that he feels awkward. And I was like, oh, so you're a homophobe. And he did not like that. And when we elaborated on that conversation, I walked away thinking, oh, you're a homophobe and a transphobe. And he wasn't overtly. In fact, he was very covertly. And it became very clear that that intuition was correct when he sent me a whole bunch of disgusting DMs where he was using transphobic and homophobic slurs in order to try to like denigrate me and make me feel small. So for the future, please remind me, because I've got a horrible memory, that JR is just like overtly homophobic and transphobic at this point. So I don't really think I want to engage
Oh
with
my
him.
god.
I may allow a live for Molly to, because I think that he has really been disgusting towards her, and to the extent like she would feel validated, then I think it might be worth it. But otherwise, I just don't really see the point. Um, and yeah, the fact that he may be closeted, like we have had a couple of people opine that that may explain his unusual obsession, because we've had a lot of people in our lives sort of like get dog walked and then like enjoy it and keep coming back and getting dog walked. But like JR was special. Like he was a different breed of dog. I've not come across him before. So it may just it may just be deeply internalized homophobia on his side that led to some of this stuff, but we're not quite sure. No, Elodie, you cannot be dog walked.
I'm just here to give you.
Mm,
Oh, you
Yeah,
go first,
Robert the
Mo.
Bruce, I appreciate that you see that.
Can someone block posture? You see him in the comments there?
No, you're a head mod. I don't see him at all. I've been having this weird thing where I don't see
Emmy, I don't know how to say that. Oh wait, what am I saying?
Elodie and Melody is not posture correction. What are you talking about?
Amia Nunks, I guess is his name.
Just,
Yeah.
just
Oh, I didn't know I was a mod.
you've
I'll
got,
block him.
yeah, of course you're full mod. I don't even see those messages. I've been having this weird thing where people are sending comments and I'm not seeing them. If you have been feeling ignored in any way in the past few lives, I could tell you there's some weird glitch where I'm not seeing all the comments at all. Now it's okay
Sure.
because I'm seeing all the comments from my favorite people. So, oh, I see who you just blocked. Okay, got it.
Been a lot of filtering for a
Sorry,
couple of
Shippy.
weeks now in certain live comments that we've seen. I only
Yeah.
came up for one reason, really, and that was to give you shit, because we all know that we're all in sync in the server, and we all.
Why would I want to take shit? Bex, how are you going to announce you're about to hurt me and then expect me to keep you up here?
get him.
That's right. It's because I'm a glutton for punishment. Continue.
Yeah, you are. So, we all know in the server that we're in sync, and I hate how I sound when you disconnect me.
So
And that
that
it
is
is, in
true
fact,
then. You
your
guys are
time
not
of
messing
month.
with me.
No, it's true. There's a whole bloody channel of it, and we all know
Wait, there's
roughly
an
when we all
in-sync
start.
channel? Wait a second. What?
No, and it's called Shark Week.
There is not a channel in my server called Shark Week. Shubity!
Seriously?
Wait. On a side note,
But that's
whose
not about
monthly
Shark
is it
Week?
right now?
Go ahead, Magical.
No. On a side note, hush, Irish. The fan presenting people are talking. Who is on their Shark Week right now?
I'm mute.
Uh,
Wait.
and probably half the rest of the server. Because we're all within about a week or two of each other.
I hate this. Oh, I hate this.
Wait a second. Wait a second. You're saying that you're all sinking, correct?
And so are
And you're
you. And you
all
have been
brought
for about 3 months.
and you're all brought together by me, correct?
Yes, it's your fault
So
we all get our
technically,
periods.
I am controlling the biological
Shut your
processes.
ass up.
God
No.
damn it. Okay.
No.
I was about to really enjoy that one.
The fact that he hasn't clued on that for at least 3 months he's also been on the same hormone cycle.
Is that a thing?
No, bro. I finally matched up with my best friend who's my roommate. Finally. But I didn't expect me to match up with some young motherfuckers. I hate
Wait, how do you transfer your period to them?
the energy
It's a
thing.
They're like the
thing.
moon. There's like something
Yeah.
with the moon.
It's the
I
moon,
blame
Mac.
the I
It really
blame the
is. No, that's
influence.
real.
I blame the planetary alignment.
I'm happy to blame Irish if
Causes like waves and shit.
No, because then the rumor's going to be that Irish made 100 women bleed, and I don't want to have that one. No.
that for some people might be okay.
I'll get canceled. I can't take another cancellation. I've been doing so good this week.
Irish the period king.
No.
That does not have the ring I thought it would
Don't
have.
give him that.
I feel like there's got to be a better way, a better title than that has. The menstrual maniac?
No.
The menstrual...
What did I
That's
just come back
worse.
into?
The menstrual magician?
Get menstrual out of your vocabulary.
What the fuck?
Do women not like the word menstrual?
I hate that word.
It's really gross.
Really? Y'all
Why
are
do you think I call it
self-hating.
Shark Week?
No, that's just a gross word. It's
I
like
thought Shark Week was... I thought like some of you guys were like geeks for like
No, I call it
Discovery
Shark
Channel
Week
or
because
something.
I call it Shark Week because if you throw me in the ocean right now, I would be shark bait. I'm
Oh, that
basically chum in
makes
the
a lot
water.
of sense.
That's why I
Irish
call
is
it.
so naive.
Yeah, I'm okay being naive on this one, Mac. Y'all can keep these secrets.
All the things that you claim to know about women and everything else that you're
I
so
know
naive
nothing about the
about.
period.
Shark
Yeah,
Blah.
apparently. That's why we have the channel, by the way.
I've gone out
Because
and
almost
I've gone out and I've purchased things for partners, but like I couldn't identify them. I still don't know what the fuck a flap is. Like I've heard of them, but like
What?
I've been asked
a
to
left flap.
I've been asked to get them with and without flaps. Like I really still can't really explain
You
it to you.
still don't know the
Oh my
difference?
god.
They
A
have
wing?
pictures on the packs. What are you
He's not
talking
even
about?
using the correct terminology though. What's a flap,
I
Irish?
think he's talking to the wings. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
referring to the
No.
wings.
No, he's
Period
talking
They're
about how he
wings.
rubs the
I
left
guess.
flap.
They're not called flaps, Irish. They're called wings.
Oh, all right. Well, this is the one
That's
that provides
exactly
as a
what I'm
man. I
going to
don't have
tell
to
my
learn new
surgeon.
stuff.
I'm gonna be like, if I get bottom surgery, I'm gonna be like, give me the flaps. Give me the flaps.
Well, how do you
I'm
make a
gonna out you.
decision? How do you make a decision between the flaps and the cylinder? How do you
Wait,
how do
can you
you
choose if you could get an Audi or an innie?
is that just what it
Wait,
is?
Irish. What did you just ask?
How do you make the decision
Oh,
between whether you want to use the flaps or the cylinder?
What are
What's a
you
cylinder?
The
referring
What
little
are
to?
you talking
mini toilet roll.
facts.
Tampax, there you go.
The
Yeah.
tampon?
Tampon. Yeah. How do you choose between
This
them?
mother.
Well, the difference is you can either feel like you're wearing a diaper or you can choose to potentially get toxic shock syndrome and unalive
That's a tough
and be
choice.
uncomfortable because it's,
Is there a third
Yeah.
like pleasurable option or like
No. Oh well,
no,
there's the
get
Dixie
on birth
cup.
control
There's a
and
Dixie
mess
Oh.
up your hormones and never be,
no, birth control
space side
turns
effects.
so many women
There.
into
Okay,
monsters.
so there's the pads, there's the tampons, and then there's the Dixie cups.
Oh no, no. The Dixie cups is just like Kentucky or something. No, I'm not a fan of that.
Beaver cups, not Dixie.
I'm also anti-cup.
I
I'm
hate
not gonna lie, because like
I've never
a
met a pro
public
cup woman, to be
bathroom,
honest with you.
like imagine being in a stalled bathroom having to change it out and like you need to rinse that shit. I'm sorry. That needs to be rinsed before you but
Put it
like
back
then you have to
in.
take it out of the stall, go and publicly rinse it, and then
Uh,
go. No, nope,
yeah,
nope.
no.
Have
Yeah,
to
no.
go, but I think we're all extremely privileged that we're having this conversation when people grew up with sea sponges and rags. But I have to go. I have to go pick up my kids from school.
Sea sponge. Jesus
You know it's there.
Christ. Pass on that. No, to me, the cups are like, those fucking parents who are like, I want to save the environment, so I'm going to use cloth
Yeah.
diapers. It's like, no, look, we appreciate the
Well,
effort, but like that's going too
it's
far.
cheaper to get, like, if you know how to use one, which like I'm terrified of those. So I personally don't do. Well, actually, I don't have a period anymore because I'm on birth control. But like I don't like
You
this
should
house.
get off the birth control and go back to how it used to be, Mac. You've
Why?
changed.
What are
You
you
want to talk about
saying?
emotions? The past 4 years, past 4 months have been
No, I
insane
know.
roller coaster for us.
You're not wrong, and I've noticed. I've literally no, I've noticed a couple things. The couple things that I've noticed has been yeah, very much more emotionally charged individual.
Right.
I feel anger a lot more, and also I have no appetite anymore. Like it's a chore to eat, which is it's so upsetting because I love food, so it's like, but I don't have an appetite anymore, so it's really sad. And
See, this is
I don't
why
know.
I
I get
petition.
headaches. I've been getting really bad headaches recently, and like my vision will like start to tweak. Like I've just noticed like really bad headaches
We're
recently,
having
but that also might be the
ischemic
dehydration.
attacks, and it definitely has nothing to do with the fact that you literally just drink one energy drink and no water in a day.
No, I drank water today and I still had a bad headache.
One
Brussels.
glass of water is not enough.
Yeah, that is not
No,
enough.
I had a whole cup of I had a whole 21 ounce of water and I had a whole thing of
21
lemonade, and that's
ounces?
better than an energy drink, okay?
Mac,
Don't you also stay up
21
late?
ounces is not enough.
What's that, Hammer?
No, you're right. I'm gonna go get more water in just a second.
Doesn't Max stay up late too?
Say it
Yeah, I
again?
do stay up late as well.
Oh, yeah, she's terrible about
Guys, it's just like genuinely been kind of crazy.
that. So, can
Like,
we go back to my prior petition?
Oh yeah, wait, I second
no.
what Katie said. Check your blood pressure, Mac. If your eyes hurt when you have a headache, check your blood pressure.
I would
Okay.
like to repetition for the idea of a medical diagnosis for whatever it is men have to deal with when
Oh
their
God.
partner and friends are on their period.
Oh my
Because
God.
it creates psychological trauma on our
What?
side, the anxiety we
Perpetual
have.
victim syndrome.
No, the
Styros.
anxiety we have of just
Styros.
waiting for the hammer to drop, like that causes high anxiety for us guys.
This is why it's
Well,
all men. This is why.
male derangement syndrome. I don't know.
Wait, can I talk about
MDS.
something funny?
Yeah, go for it. I'm okay with that. MDS, that sounds bad. I like it.
So recently I saw this clip of a creator on a live that I'm personally not too fond of. And he was talking about himself and making himself sound like real like tough and like saying he'd broken his kneecap bone and dislocated his knee before and broken his shin, and he said I've also broken my thigh bone. And someone in the comments asked, have you broken your femur? And he said, no, I've never broken my femur. That would
I was like,
hurt.
thigh bone? That's the breaking of femur is near, like, that's a worst break you can have.
You only
Motherfucker
have
got
a
arthritis.
femur
Jesus.
in your thigh.
You only have a what?
A femur.
Motherfucker got
Used to
arthritis
go
for
in your
that.
thigh.
I know, that's what I just said.
Tell me that's
I don't think that was audible for humans. That was crazy
I
loud.
heard it. That's a part of male derangement syndrome as well, not listening to women, and
Thank you,
especially not
Matt.
listening to Brussels
Sorry, what did you
specifically.
say, Matt?
I said.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I said, how is he that dumb?
I feel like Irish would be like so just really quickly, I feel like Irish would be the type of like person that whenever your girlfriend or whatever is on her period, she would send you to the store to get the products, and you would come back and disappoint her because you would come back with like tampons when she asked for like
No,
pads, or you would
exact
come back with
opposite.
like grandma pads. No, you just strike me as like
No,
the
I'll
type.
tell you. I'll tell you right now. I am. I am not the type of guy who's going to remember what the hell it is I got last month. I am the type of guy that if I go to the corner store and it doesn't have what you wanted me to find, I will go to 7 stores to get you exactly the thing you want. And that's not because I love them. It's
It's because you're
because I have high
scared.
anxiety and I don't want to fail. So it's like,
And you're
again,
also scared of the hammer.
a lot of my traumas have just aligned with what looks like moral activity. It's really, really convenient for me. But no, I would absolutely, when it comes to stuff like that, I go out of my way to make sure they get whatever it is. But that's not just for like that sort of stuff. Like if they want a certain type of chips, I'm gonna hop around from store to store to get exactly what it is they want.
But I know you'd be pissed if like the first store didn't have it. Like I could just hear you now, like, oh fucking damn it, like that store didn't have it. Like I can
No,
No, because
honestly
Sarge,
hear
the
it.
first store, after the first store, he would growl.
No, so you guys don't know where I get angry. So a store not having something is expected. Where I would lose my shit is if I show up, let's say I show up, the store is closing at 6 and I show up at 5:51 and they have the doors closed, I will flip my shit because that's unexpected. I only flip my shit at unexpected obstacles.
Oh.
And I'm horrible.
Yeah,
I'm
that's valid
genuinely
because
horrible.
yeah, today you were like geeking out over
That
no,
GPS unit was like I was on my last nerve with it, I swear to God.
you were literally yelling at something to shut the fuck up, and
I had it set so that it shouldn't have been interrupting me as I was talking to you guys, and it just wouldn't shut up.
I genuinely was so confused at first. I was like, what the fuck is he yelling at? And you sounded so mad. You
I was
sounded
furious.
so pissed.
Look, this is why like I think I really am giving up on romance because like I don't often get angry with a partner, but I'll get angry at a lot of like intangible things or not intangible, sorry. What was the word I was looking for? Like physical things, like obstacles and stuff. And like I just look really angry and I'm really loud. And so it just kind of sucks. And I don't want to have to make a partner feel weird about that, even though like I am generally a teddy bear, due to how loud I am. I just don't want to make someone like subject someone to something like that moving forward.
Yeah,
So
you're loud as fuck.
I'm so loud. Like all of my exes have always told me, "Can you please talk lower?" And I've always been like, "What are you talking about?" And now I kind of understand it.
That's
Husband does
fine.
the opposite thing.
I think I just have a loud voice.
I mean, sometimes so
Well,
like so for me, my one of my ADHD quirks is I have a problem with volume regulation, especially if I'm excited or emotional about something. I could be screaming at the top of my lungs and think I'm speaking at a conversational volume just because I'm a little excited.
yeah, I've been told to be quieter before, and I don't hear it either. So,
I don't think you're particularly loud at all, actually. Yeah, magical.
I
Jesus.
mean, oh my gosh. Well, I don't know. I guess it
Just say
depends.
something.
But no, I've been told to quiet down too. But it's not, it's okay. So, also, what irritates me more than anything, if you are talking quiet and I can't hear you, it pisses me off. It really pisses me off because people don't understand. I really do think I've suffered like partial hearing loss from like the jobs that I've had in the past. And genuinely, like, I cannot hear whenever someone is like just like, if you're talking too quietly, speak the fuck up. I'd rather someone be yelling in my face than talking too quietly and me having to be like, huh? Every 2 seconds.
Is
Huh?
this you being passive aggressive to Brussels?
No, Brussels is very loud.
The fuck
Like,
she is. Speak up, Brussels. God damn it.
Did you
No,
just
her
call me
no.
her
black
microphone,
again?
something got better in the past few
Oh my
years.
god, don't cancel me, Brussels. Don't.
Cancel
Brussels
Black
is
Twitter.
a very eccentric and very well-spoken, eloquent
That
speaker.
sounds worse.
Brussels is fucking crazy. What are you talking about?
That sounds worse.
It is
Don't
insane to
record
me.
that.
It is insane to me how psycho Brussels has become. Like, if I was to have to meet up with creators on this app, and it was a choice between Brussels and I'm just trying to think of it. Like, I think anyone else, I would not sleep in the same room as Brussels. Like, I just have this idea. I would wake up. She's just, I get the vibe. I'm waking up. You're at the end of the bed with a knife or scissors. Like, that's the vibe I get from you
Sounds
periodically.
crazy.
That's
Wait,
Is it wrong, Magical?
I mean,
I feel like I would be
Look at that.
safe
She
with
literally
Brussels.
plays into it. And I don't think she's playing into it. I think she's like, is that really that weird?
I feel like it's because you're a white man that's not yams. I feel like that's why you're not. Yeah, but me, I would feel safe.
See, when you say it's because I'm not yams, like, I'm not unconvinced that she doesn't have him stuffed in a closet or something.
He is never around, to be fair, to support your theory.
Scream if you need help.
Yams actually doesn't like TikTok. He's super shy about being on here. I do ask him if he
What a
wants.
No, I mean,
coincidence,
don't you
right?
always talk about how Yams is always at quote-unquote work?
Yep.
Yeah, he works, so it's so sweet.
Do you also notice how Brussels talks to yams, but we never hear yams respond? Anyone else notice that?
Oh my god. Are we really gaslighting?
You guys, like, Yams is the only thing I have. Yams is
That's a micro. I didn't call Brussels angry. I said she was a lunatic. Totally different.
Yeah, there is a difference.
If I get called out on that, I'll drop the goddamn DMs, all right? I can prove in a court of law beyond a reasonable doubt that she's certifiable.
Okay,
Like, she may be two
I
different
would
people.
like to say.
Sorry, I'm just gonna have to clip you on this one, bro.
She may
Wow.
look really. You come up very sweet on live, Brussels, but like at Discord.
Thank you, Mac. Mac knows what I'm talking about.
Guys, my name was literally Feral Sprouts in the server for an extended period of time, and I did.
Is it
Only the white.
Sassy Sprouts now, or is it Sad Sprouts?
Currently, it's brain damaged Brussels.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
it does seem like you're a little bit more yourself. I'm going to admit, like, we didn't know who you were for the first week. You were definitely out of it. But you seem a little bit more yourself the past day or two.
I've been feeling better for the past couple days, to be honest.
Yeah, I said closer to because we can also tell you're not fully there yet. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Slow steps.
Hey, Brussels.
Shut up, Iris.
What's that, Hammer?
I got a quick question for Brussels.
Go for it.
So that live that was happening on like Super Solid's page about Jones. Is that going to happen again, or?
Yes, it will happen again. To be determined. We have to wait. I asked that nobody talk about Jones in the meantime, and just wait for an announcement.
I have been silenced for over a year, and you're saying I'm still silenced? Okay, fine.
Yep, shut your white ass up.
I have! I've been so good.
There's someone. Oh, hold on, JK. Wait, there's a couple people in the requests.
Sure. When is... Yeah, Brussels, if you could maybe just even message me and tell me, like, why it was postponed, because I did have some people message me, and I said, no, that's not the case, but now I'm thinking, based on what you just said, I may have been mistaken.
I did put it in the chat. I can put it back again.
Yeah.
How'd you not see it?
Welcome to my world. What's up?
How you doing?
It's good. How you doing, man? What's your take?
Oh man, I'm just trying to remember if I buttered my biscuits last night.
Why?
Do you normally do it? Is it like your habit to do it before you go to bed?
I was trying to think.
How do you have 18,000 followers? Did you buy them?
What?
Well, you have 18,000 followers. How? I'm curious.
No, you don't just buy them
And it
like
says
those.
that you
You
report
don't just
on the
buy them.
news.
Like
So, you know what you should do?
you don't buy them.
Follow my news channel. We spread awareness of world stage events. You should go to my you should duet my most recent video and go report on it.
Wait.
Absolutely not.
Hold on. Is Butter My Biscuit like a weird incel sexual reference?
Probably.
Yeah.
Usually, yes.
Wow, we thought
Butter
you were
My
a smart
Biscuit?
person.
How deformed is your penis if it looks like a biscuit? Are you sure that's a sexual reference?
No.
Doesn't that mean that your penis is flaccid and crumbly? Like biscuits are not firm.
Ew, the word flaccid is scary.
Am I wrong? I don't think buttering your biscuit is a butter my biscuit is an ass reference. So hang on a second. Let me think
Yeah.
about this.
All right, let's
Butter.
get deep down to the buttering of the biscuits, guys.
What's
what do you
the
think
butter?
it means?
I doubt you've been deep in anything, buddy. What is the butter part? Is that saliva in this analogy?
Oh my god.
There's
Is
the
he offering to
biscuits
lick
and then
my?
there's the butter,
Is
right?
he
Now
offering
you're
to lick
buttering
my
the
taint?
biscuit.
Is that what's happening right now? Welcome.
I could tell nobody buttered any
Welcome. I
biscuits.
do consent. I'm going to give you a follow, and I'll give you my Discord DM, and we can arrange something offline. Thank you very much. Let's get that party started. Free analingus? All right, I'll sign up.
You are so bro. You've
gotta be
become
open-minded
so
as you get older.
celibate. You've become so celibate and neutered that you're good with
Now I'm flipping to anyone and everyone. You get more open-minded as you come closer to death, Mac.
Shut up. That's
Wait,
crazy.
buttering. I'm just gonna say this: buttering the biscuit that cannot be a euphemism for eating out an ass. It can't be. It doesn't make any sense. Why does a biscuit look like an? Have these people seen what an anus looks like? It does not look like a biscuit.
I mean, that's not what I was thinking when I heard
You know
butter
what?
biscuit.
I want to keep my mind nice and poor.
Buttering
Nice
the
and
muffin
pure.
makes a bit more sense. You know what? I think that's an incel way of saying it because like the bits and bobs don't match up. It does. No, it doesn't make sense at all.
I mean, when I think of that, I think of the
prolapse would make more sense. I agree with that as well.
As-
Oh! Buttering the biscuit is a reference to buttering a prolapsed anus because of the fact that yeast rises. So
What?
it's referencing the growing
You're
prolapse.
doing too much. Be quiet, please.
Stop.
Stop.
This is
Stop.
audio
You're doing too much, bro.
Sexual assault or
Too
something?
much.
I'm not gonna say anything because people are always recording me, but this
Quacky.
is audio.
Quacky supports it.
No,
I think that's a
Quacky
really
does not.
weird reference. I'm not a fan of that reference. It's
Quacky
weird.
is no, you don't.
Quacky is not valid. No.
No, Quacky is not valid. No.
Quacky.
Cancel you for that?
No, because we're all adults.
No.
I have this set to adults. We only have adults in here. Oh, do you know my demographics have started to change? And I'm disturbed and not happy about it?
Is it flipping to mostly men?
Yes. It's become more male recently.
That's gross.
When
mean, that's gross, but
I've been trying to figure out what. Go ahead, Magical One.
I was gonna say it's gross, but isn't that the point of having the misogyny lives and grape culture lives?
Well,
Gagged.
sorry for being here.
No, you're.
It's okay.
Yeah, different type. Yeah.
No, I think
what do you mean
Irish.
by
What it is.
I don't like how you said that.
Don't be trying to. Don't try to cancel. If you want to do this, I'll go there. No. What I'm saying is that the percentage has been flipping from usually. Actually, what do you guys guess in the comments? What do you guys ordinarily guess the percentage of women out of 100 are ordinarily
60.
my audience? 60 is what you say?
70-ish.
Magical says 70. In the comments, what percentage of my audience do you think is ordinarily women? Okay.
I think a lot of men have crushes on Irish, so I think that might be part of it.
It's actually a pretty broad range, 52 to 95. So my ordinary one is anywhere between 75 to 80. And I've noticed
Damn.
it's been skewing closer to about the lowest it dipped to was during Dan's live, and it
Ew.
dipped as low as 67.
Oh.
But
Oh.
it's been getting closer to 70 recently. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on.
I'm scared for his heart rate.
It's heart rate.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I just, some people are, they're a little overstimulating.
I mean, yeah, with all the lives that have been going on, I've been hopping and hopping and hopping. Some people recognized me when I was on my unc's live earlier today, and they were like, "Why are you everywhere?" And I'm like, "Oh,
No, debate TikTok has really, specifically like lives. I, it's crazy.
my head
Like just the
hurts.
last couple of weeks have been very eventful to say the
My head hurts."
least.
But honestly, I'm glad certain people got called out because I was really tired of a lot of them.
Well, be more specific. Stop not being
I'm not
messy.
gonna be. I'm gonna. Okay.
Oh, so annoying. All right, so this is. Let me tell you what the changes are. So going down to female down to 67, that's the lowest it's ever been. It has been getting averaging around 70 recently, which is crazy. The age demographics have changed a little bit. The 18 to 24 is usually between 10 to 12%. And I was kind of really surprised that it went up for Dan's. That didn't make any sense to me because I would have thought people who look at Dan would have been older. But then I saw his memes and now I'm not too fucking sure. But that's normally about 10 to 12%. And the extra part is usually dumped into 35 because it's almost always over 50. And my USA proportion has been very nicely going down. That used to be up until like a year ago, that was solidly 98%. And it really has been broadening. So now it's only a international audience of about 20 to 25 routinely, which is good. Like I prefer a little bit more international.
Um, yeah. My demographics, I don't know. I should check them because now I'm curious, but
Yeah, what are your demographics?
I'm sure it's like mostly women and it's
No,
probably,
you're gonna have men. I'd guess you actually have more men because you attract the
no
incels.
way. And what?
You have to distinguish between supporters and followers, right? These are not supporters, these are followers. These are people watching you, right? You're going to have a lot more
Yeah,
men watching you because they're going to be hate watching you.
Yeah.
you're right. Oh,
Yeah, I don't have
yeah.
that proportion. So like I don't get rated by 12-year-old Discord jockeys, right? Like you get that a lot.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like what? I'm tired. Like the fact that 12-year-olds even know what Discord is. Like at 12 years old, I think I was playing Minecraft on my 4 split screen and my DS.
At 12
My
years old.
DSi was like the love of my life at 12 years old. Like the fact that they know what Discord is, crazy.
At
Happy
12 years
birthday.
old, I was literally playing with my Barbies and playing Just Dance and
Oh my
Michael
gosh,
Jackson
just
Experience.
I was like at 12, I think I had like an iPod that I also played a lot. And my
Oh,
iPod was like my introduction to app games. And I really was like, if you, and my
oh,
iPod was like my introduction to app games. And I really was like, if you really think about it, I really was like a gamer girl back when like I was
Yes, we are saying
third,
Kirsty Face Becca.
I
like
don't know if
8
anyone.
to like